Today, we're going to talk about, not just talk about, I'm not actually going to talk about it at all. I'm going to show you how you can set up adverts on Facebook and how you go about setting up adverts on Google. These multi-billion-dollar, multinational, giant conglomerates have actually made it quite simple to set these adverts up, obviously, because that's how they make money. So something that you probably think is quite ethereal is actually quite simple. So hopefully you'll be able to walk out of here and do it yourself, which should be good. A little bit about me. No delay there. So I founded the event hire company when I was 20. I'm now 31. I founded that in my dad's garage with no investment. That business hires out tables and chairs and bars and all kinds of stuff to events. Mostly bars nowadays, actually, is our main market. I founded a company called Early Bird Snacks. That company is now dead. Blame Brexit. And I am currently the founder of a company called Table Yeti, where we're replacing the paper bill that you get at a restaurant with a digital bill, and that tends to make waiters happier, customers happier, etc. Check out the website; it looks really good. Had some achievements in my short time on our planet Earth. Also, I feel a little bit like Britney Spears at the moment with this and mixture between Britney Spears and Harry Potter, maybe, which is an interesting mix, I guess. Hit me, baby, one more time with the Quidditch or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I've had some achievements in my life, which is a good thing, I guess. So I raised over 750. Is this a pointer? Yes. Ooh. So I raised over £750,000 for Early Bird Snacks. We crowdfunded half of that investment money over 2 crowdfunding rounds. Here, totaling 400K. We had our seed investment round, which was about 125,000. And then we had a growth round on Crowdcube, which was 300,000. And then on top of that, we had private investment from other investors and some of the crowdfunding investors as well. It was equity crowdfunding, so they got a cut of the business, if anybody's wondering how that all works. I engaged a world-leading branding agency for equity in Early Bird Snacks. So, and this was when it was just an idea. It was literally an A4 piece of paper idea. It was like, we're going to make healthy snacks and send them to people in the post. Do you think that's a good idea? If you do think it's a good idea, do you want to make us a brand for free? So I sent this story off to 3 or 4 branding agencies in London. Got a meeting with one, went to the meeting. Had with the owner of the business, a guy called Ian Stevens, and chatted to him for half an hour, and he was like, yeah, this sounds fantastic. We'll build you a whole brand for 5% of the business. When I say world-leading branding agency, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm world-leading, as in they did the rebrand for British Airways. They came up with the brand for Vueling Airlines. They did Orange mobile phones. Somebody sat in a room and was like, we're going to make a mobile phone company. We're going to call it Orange. This is back in the day when it was BT Cellnet was the name. So these guys are these were good. And the brand for Early Bird was spectacularly amazing and actually enabled us to then go out and raise money because design is important, as I'm sure some of you know. Anybody in here manage a team? Anyone manage a team? One person at the back. What does everybody in here do? Nothing? Okay. Manage a team. Yeah, so I always put manage a team in my achievements because if anybody in here did manage a team, you would understand that people are the hardest part of business. Managing them is very difficult, so I put it in my achievements. 12 people at head office, day to day, have many needs that you need to fulfill. And then we had people at the factory producing the snacks and the boxes and loads of stuff. And then in the events world, I've managed teams as 40, 50 people. I am the founder. I found these companies. I'm not an employee. I'm the CEO, founder, entrepreneur, solo founder, nobody else. So at the end of the day, the buck always stopped with me. Always. So it's very stressful and good fun. That event hire company, the one that did the tables and chairs and boring bits and bobs like that, actually grew that to £500,000 in revenue with no external investment. that started in my dad's garage. And what we used to do, well, the first year, what we did was I made a website on iWeb. Anybody remember iWeb on the Mac? It's like a drag and drop website builder. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like making a website on Microsoft Paint or something. So yeah, made a website on iWeb, managed to upload it to GoDaddy, drove some ad traffic there, bought some AdWords on Google, drove some traffic, and people inquired. They sent us an email, gave me a phone call, and were like, okay, we need to book like, I don't know, 10 tables for our wedding this summer. I was like, okay, sweet, that'll be £500, pay me a deposit. They pay the deposits. Substantial amount of people did this the first year. All the deposits added up to a fair amount of money. We used the deposit money to then go out and buy all the kit that we then hired back to them. No investment required. So, you know, there are many routes through this entrepreneurial forest. Many a route, actually. The one that gets the most attention is raising capital from amazing venture capitalists like Anderson Horowitz or Sequoia or ASOL Partners or billion and one other VC firms. The reason why that gets so much attention is because the VC firms push the PR because they need to be known, right? So, and it's kind of sexy. It's like, yeah, my company was valued at $1 billion and blah, blah, blah. What you don't know is that that company that was valued at $1 billion, he just gave away 30%, which means that if he doesn't sell the company for more than 600 million, the founder and the founding team and the early investors are not going to make one singular penny. Not a penny, right? So it's not sexy. It's not necessarily the best route to go down. It's one of many. Another route is to go and build a website, drive some traffic, get some deposits, use those deposits to buy some kit, rent that kit back to people, and make some money, right? That's another route. And there's a billion other ways of doing it as well. So find your own. And then last, but I guess by no means least, I made and lost over £1 million, £1 million, 1.11 million euros, $1.3 million before I was 30, which was fun as well. So yeah, I'm here to help. I'm actually not here to help. This is a lie of a slide because I'm leaving tomorrow. And maybe I'll never come back, but I probably will. So I am a part of the Swiss Entrepreneurship Program, of which Luca at the back is one of the facilitators, and they bring entrepreneurs to the Balkans to do things like this and share our knowledge and our experience of running companies and growing them and getting things wrong and getting things right with groups of people, individuals like you. And I can help with a few things, but unless you want to fly to London, I'm probably not going to help you guys with these. But yeah, I can make an MVP, bring it to market very quickly and very cheaply, like super cheap. Like Table Yeti is actually quite a complicated product that has been brought to market fast and at a cheap price. Market testing on the cheap, like how do you test your idea? How do you validate your idea very cheaply? Why do I keep saying cheap? Cheap because most people have the dream of being an entrepreneur, but they don't have the resource. And they blame not having the resource on the reason why they can't be the entrepreneur. That's bullshit, right? You can do all of this stuff cheaply, right? Google will give you €50 worth of free ad credit. I think it's now 200 euros. Facebook will give you £20 worth of free ad credit. Like, you can do this with £0. I started my first company. I was a waiter, right? I used to spend all my money Sunday night at the pub. I had no money, like none. I was drunk every Sunday, broke all week. It was great. Had so much fun, right? Like, you can do this. Like, you can do it cheap. It's not important. You do not have to have loads of money to be an entrepreneur to start with. It helps later. Marketing, digital marketing, how to test the channels, what CPA means, what lifetime value means, what that really means for your business. Got a shit ton of knowledge about that. Raising some money if required. I have been down that route. I probably will go down it again, but at a later stage. And then there is software as a service. So the reason that I have a good amount of knowledge of software as a service is because Early Bird Snacks was a subscription box of healthy snacks that we used to send to people in the post. And we used to call that snacks as a service. SaaS, same shit. And the metrics that we used to measure were were basically identical to all the software as a service. The marginal cost was not quite the same because we had for every snack box we produced, we had more costs that added up. So it wasn't a great business compared to software. But the metrics and the way that we measured that and how you take a business, either B2B or B2C, I have some knowledge in. So I can help with that. Today, I'm going to show you how to set. So I'm going to go like super basic, like go back 11 years to being in my dad's house thinking, how do I make some money and how do I change my life? Rather than, what did I think about? How do I change my life? No, I probably just thought, how do I make some money? Because like I wanted to drink more beer. Was probably why I was doing this to start with, because I was only 20 at the end of the day, and I think I needed some like extra cash because like I was like just about to start my degree because I'd gone to uni 2 years late because I just wouldn't have been good at university when I was 18 because I'd have been having too much fun and not getting a degree. So I'm going to go back 11 years, back to basics. What's the process? And what's the power of these two platforms, Facebook and Google, and show you how bloody easy it is to set these things up. So, lesson number 1, Facebook. Facebook should pay me for doing this, I feel, but they don't. Obviously, I pay them all my money. No, not all my money anymore, but as you'll see, there has been a few pennies that have... I actually just noticed something, Luca, earlier, is the ad account that I'm going to use was one of the ad accounts that Early Bird used. So, yeah, we spent a bit of money with them. Right. That's Google. Okay, cool. Anybody recognize this website? I think you may have seen it. It's this fun thing called Facebook. Used to be called The Facebook, if anybody has seen the movie. Owner is this dude called Mark. He's a bit of an asshole, apparently. Leaks your data, gives like Russian interference in elections. You know, that kind of guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke. Facebook, right? You can reach 2.4 billion people on the planet through this product. There has never been an advertising product like this in the history of humanity. So if you want to advertise, it's as simple as this. See this little button up here? Yeah. Underneath, you'll see create a page. First thing you need to do is create a page for your business. Most people, if you have a business or thinking about a business, early on you will open a Facebook page for that company. It'd be it's on my list of first 10 things to do when starting a business: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, set up your emails, get a holding page up, that kind of stuff. Facebook is one of them. So you create your page. I'm not going to show you how to create a page because it's literally step by step and quite boring. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pretend that I've created a page. Once you've created a page, you'll see this thing come up here, which is Business Manager. See this thing, Business Manager. So under Business Manager, you'll be able to see the pages that you can currently advertise for. You would click on one of those, and that would take you to the Ad Manager. Right. So some things to point out. The Ad Manager is set up. Some things to point out. I've spent a lot of money on ads. Yeah? Yeah, £120,000. That's just one of the advert accounts that we used at Early Bird Snacks. Right, so... How much did you spend in total? Like 280, I think? 300,000, roughly. Maybe more. I think we owed Facebook some money at the end. Yeah, loads of cash, right? You buy like 4 houses in Serbia for that. I could buy a shed in London for that, which is more depressing, I can assure you. Right, so the way that this works is that this is your account overview here. You don't actually need this tab. This is a new tab, and I've yet to find the use for it. So if you think of these as folders, right? So you have your top level folder, right? Your top level folder where you store your advert sets. Your advert sets are where you do your targeting and set your budgets. And so you look at that so level 1 folder is campaign. So you make your campaign folder, right? So we'll use this button here in a sec. We'll create a folder for the campaign. Inside that folder, you create another folder, which is called advert set. In the advert set folder controls everything for targeting, for budgets, and a few other bits, right? And then the next folder you create in the row of folders along the top here is ads. That's where you create the actual advert. You know, the picture, the meme of a squirrel trying to find some nuts in a tree. I don't know. It's probably not a very good meme. There's definitely better memes out there than a squirrel trying to find nuts in a tree. It's probably like a cat smiling or something. I don't know. Yeah, and you write your text and blah, blah, blah. But this will become far more apparent as I go through. So, are we ready? What you do to start is you press this create button. Ta-da! Yeah, Facebook doesn't make sounds like that, so I'm obviously adding them myself. I don't want you to think you're doing it wrong when you get home and try this later. Right, so anybody want to volunteer their business? No? You're very silent. Why is everyone so quiet? What? Anybody? So who in here is an entrepreneur? One? Trying to be. Amazing. Good start. What does your company do?
Digital design.
And what is your company called?
It's really complicated.
Okay, make something up that's less complicated.
Let's try test one.
No. We're going to call it Bob's Magical Design Company. Yeah, because I like the name Bob. I probably wouldn't call my kid Bob, because it'd be bullied at school. So basically here, you're naming the folder, right? Very simple. Bob's Magical Design Company is the folder. And then to make sure that you know what it does, I would then give it some other words, right? So underneath you have, they've given me reach and frequency. Nice. That's because this is the old early bird account. You only get this one if you spend loads of money with them. You won't see this reach and frequency one because it's hidden for everybody else. Makes it even easier to spend loads of money with them. So the auction is, you know how online, maybe you don't. So the way that online adverts work is you want to show your advert, Bob's Design Company Limited wants to show its advert to designers. Oliver's Design Company Limited I want to show my advert to designers. Both of the adverts are exactly the same, and we're targeting exactly the same audience, and our websites are exactly the same age. Okay? So there is no difference. We are twin companies. You're willing to pay 75p per click, and I'm willing to pay £1. Facebook will show my ad. That's it. It's an auction. It's a silent, closed auction. You can't see that's going on, but that's actually what's going on. Highest bidder wins. And then I get charged £1 for the click. You don't get charged, but you don't get clicks. Exactly. What a great business model. Right, so you can't change it. It's going to be set as auction anyway. Right, so now you have the objective of your campaign. Our dear friends at Mr. Zuckerberg's company have made it really, really easy, again, to choose how you want to advertise. So you have, these are the goals of the objectives, goals, same thing, of your campaign, right? So if you want to build awareness, so Bob's Magical Design Company wants more people in Serbia to know that Bob's Magical Design Company exists? You can do that in two ways. You can do brand awareness, which is Facebook will show the advert to people that it thinks will remember Bob's Design Company, or reach. Reach is Facebook will show the advert to as many people as it can. With brand awareness and reach, you don't pay per click. You pay for a thing called CPM, which I actually learned stands for cost per mile, or did at some point stand for cost per mile. So it used to be like, how many billboards can you pay for during, like, in a mile? Doesn't make any sense anymore because people aren't paying for billboards. So what the lovely people at the CPM audit board, or whatever they bloody call it, decided to call it, was CPM still, and now it stands for cost per million, but it's measured in thousands, which doesn't make any sense because it should be cost per thousand, so CPT, which sounds like some kind of like therapy, I don't know. But like, it stands for cost per million, it's measured in thousands. It's basically how much it costs you to show your advert to 1,000 people. So if the CPM was £10 or 10 euros or 1,000 dinar, I should know by now. I've been in the Balkans for like 9 months. I have no fucking idea. Sorry. You're charged for showing the advert. You're not charged for clicks. You can work out the clicks, because if you got 10 clicks and it was £10, it'd be £1 a click, right? The auction's the same. So you choose how much CPM you're willing to spend, basically, and it works it all out. Very clever. So that's awareness. If you want to you want more awareness for your brand, you would choose these ones. Then you have, if you want to drive traffic to your website, very obvious one, like clicks. Traffic, app installs. If anyone's got an app, you would use app installs. If you want to do video views, so show your advert to people that are likely to view a video of your business or your service, use video views. Obviously, you have to have a video for that to work. Lead generation is an interesting one because Facebook creates a form. So when people click that, they then do like one other click, and then you get their email and their first name and their last name. Maybe probably some other stuff, I can't remember. Post engagement is a good one if you want to post, like, again, like memes of cats that you know loads of people are going to like, because post engagement means that Facebook is going to show the advert to people that are going to engage, or very likely to engage with the post. Right? Like, as in, click it, like it, share it, like it, love it, comment. Post engagement is good for brand awareness again, because more people post, it goes in other people's news feeds. La la la. Page likes gets you likes for your page. Relatively useless thing to do nowadays. Event responses is if you have an event, an event like this, they could have ran I mean, it's very full, to be fair. Maybe they don't need to do any advertising, but if they wanted to do an event like this and they wanted to advertise it, you'd use event responses, and people would say they're going to the event. Messages will hop people out into Messenger so you can have a chat with them. And then if you run an e-commerce store or a real store, you can do conversion. So conversion would be show the advert to people that Facebook thinks are going to convert into a purchase. So like, yeah, you're selling Bob's Magical Design Company is selling magical design, and people pay for this magical design on the internet. And you run that, and people buy your design, and off you go you're off to the races, right? Sales catalog would be like, it would show a catalog of like all the design work that you've done, and people could pay for like 5 hours of design or like 3 hours of design, right? The conversion again. And then store visits is an interesting one. So if anybody has an actual real shop or a pub or a restaurant or like many things like that, anything physical, Facebook can show them an ad and then track, because obviously the GPS on the phone, track to see whether they actually went to your store. Yeah, cool, right? Mark's a clever guy. Very clever guy. But today, we're just going to do traffic. Traffic's the most simple one to set up, and probably the one that I would start with, just to kind of get the hang of how this all works. Traffic. So, traffic. If you want to do split testing, would be I mean, show 2 versions of an advert to the same audience and see which one gets more clicks is a very simple, simplified version of that. I'm going to ignore budget optimization because that's new. I don't know what that does. What you'll find with Facebook ads is like they're always improving. They're always getting better. So there's always new little buttons and new little things to read about and see. So you have created the top folder and you have set the campaign objective. Next, you just name these. You don't actually create anything here. You just give them a name, right? So who are your customers? Okay.
Or you're doing brochures or catalogs or something.
So like company owners interested in design? Yeah? And then advert, we'll just call that, but I just tend to call these like advert version 1, like we'll make it a picture advert. Right, so now you've set up the folder structure in the same way you would if you were making folders on your computer. You give everything names apart. The only difference is here you've given this objective. Done. Save to draft. Ta-da! Right, so this is the top folder. You've done all this, so you don't need to do this anymore. Get rid of that. So, on to the next folder. So these things here, move along. Right, ignore this test one. I probably shouldn't have done that earlier. It's quite annoying. So what you do on the next folder is you select, use this button here, the tick box to make sure it's selected. Then you come all the way over here on the right and click this edit button. Where does it think? I think it probably thinks I'm in the UK at the moment. Let's have a guess. Yep. Wicked. Right, so here we're going to send, so here you choose where you want the traffic to go to. Do I want it to go to my website? Do I want it to go to an app install? So like the Google App Store, the Apple App Store. Apple one's probably better in general. Or Messenger, and send them into Messenger. For today, we're going to send them to your website. Ignore dynamic creative to start with, and ignore offer to start with. Offer would be if it was a special offer, like half price off Bob's Magical Design. That kind of thing. Next, for the ad set. So as I said earlier, this is where you set the amount of money that you want to spend and targeting. So it's in pounds. If you were doing it here, it would be in Serbian currency. So whatever you're willing to spend, I would start with £5 or equivalent. Right? You don't need to spend very much, especially here, because it's really cheap, because you're not because it's an auction system, right? In the UK and in the United States and in lots of other Western countries with more developed like online advertising ecosystems, the cost of online advertising over time has bid up, right? So it's more and more expensive as people have found more innovative business models to make money. In Serbia, it's fucking cheap. Like seriously cheap, like so in the UK, it costs me roughly probably about £1 a click on average on Facebook. In Serbia, it's like 3p. Yeah, that's a lot different, right? So you're going to get a lot of traction out of your £5 worth of ad spend. This is, if you want, this is where you choose when it's going to start. I don't know why I'm tapping the screen, just here. If you don't change any of this, it will just start straight away. If you do change it, it will start when you ask it to. And then you have, you can actually have it on a schedule, so the ads only show at like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 4 in the afternoon for an hour. Prime example, but not for today. What you can do is, actually no, I'm not going to tell you that because it's a little too complicated to start with. So this is where you choose who you're going to show the ads to. Currently set to United Kingdom, but your company's in Serbia, so let's change it to Serbia. Be a Bob's Magical Design. Language is only in Serbian, so it wouldn't be very good. Right, so you come in here, this box here, and you type in Serbia. So firstly, interesting statistic. You can advertise to 3.5 million people in Serbia on Facebook. Yeah. 3.5 million. It's basically how many people are on Facebook in Serbia. But, you know, Bob's Design, actually, you have a really, Bob's Magical Design Company actually has like a really personal service. It isn't about selling online. It's about people like talking to you on the phone, coming to your studio, sitting down with you, blah, 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 right? So you really need to advertise to Bob really needs to advertise to the local community. So what you can do is this. How do I spell this Subuka? S-U-B-O. That one. Right, there you go. So now, within 40 kilometers of Subuka, I can't say it, I'm just not going to say it. The other word that begins with S. Right, you can have, within 40 kilometers, might be a bit far away, so you can change that. So people are probably willing to drive 20k to come and see Bob for his magical design. So within 20 kilometers of here, there are 72,000 people on Facebook a day, at least a day. And with £5, right, with £5, you could reach up to 7,300 of those people, and you could get between 29 and 180 clicks. The reason that is a between two things is because that actually depends on how relevant your advert is to the audience. So you'll see later we have detailed targeting. That'll all come into play, so I'll show you that later. But I'll show you also what happens if you change the budget, right? So if we change that to 50, you reach more people, you get more clicks, potentially. They're interlinked. Spend more, more business. Spend less, less business.
But you get less than 10 times more clicks than
In the what was that, sorry?
You get less than 10 times more clicks.
Yes, they're not like that. So they're not parallel like that. They're more like that. It depends. Yeah, it's much worse in the UK actually. Hence 118,000. So yeah, so you've set up your targeting, blah blah blah. You've got your budget of a £5. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Right. So how old are your customers, Bob?
30 and upwards. Let's say 30 to 50.
30 to 50. Right. So 30 to 50. Sweet. Less people. Surprise. I mean, you can do all kinds of research here. Like, you can do, like, how many old people are there here? Not many. On Facebook, that is. So 30 to 50, we said, right? Men, women, everyone's welcome. Yeah, good, good. Language? Serbian?
Well, if you're going to target, then you should probably do Hungarian as well.
Yeah, 10,000 more people have Hungarian listed here, is there? Interesting, right? This is good for research. And probably... Yeah.
Doesn't Facebook recognize most of the people as English speaking because they're using Facebook in English?
I don't know what you mean, sorry.
Basically, we are all using Facebook in English.
Yeah. So like...
Is Facebook recognizing the language as Serbian just because of the location?
No. So it's your listed language, so I'd always list English.
Listed language is for everybody's English. I don't think that's everybody when you create it, depending on what you put it.
Yeah. So like, actually, your point is wrong, sorry to say, because obviously not everybody's language listed as English because it's 26,000. But I would also list English, like, always, because, you know, you've got an extra 4,000 people there. What you actually want to do, what is more intelligent, is like, if you are running the ads in Serbian, make sure that you don't put English. because you're going to waste ad money, right? Like, what happens if somebody does just speak English and you show them an ad in Serbian? They're going to have no idea. When I'm in Serbia, all my ads are shown to me in English still. I don't see Serbian adverts on Facebook. So yeah, you set the languages, set the location. There's also another thing I want to show you, which is the types of people in the location. So you have everyone who's in the location, people who live here. So everybody that is in the location is currently here, right? If they live here or their most recent location is here, right? So that would be me right now because my most recent location is here. People who live in this location is people who live here. People who were recently here would be like, if you had like a travel agency or something, like it'd be quite good. Oh no, so that would be travel agency would be people traveling in this location, would be amazing, right? It's like, they don't live there, they're traveling there, maybe they're from on holiday, yeah. People recently in the location, maybe if you want to target like traveling businessmen or something like that, maybe that's a good one. But right now we'll just use everyone in this location because you've got people recently here along with everybody that lives here. Seems sensible. Right, so now we target people based on their likes, dislikes, blah, blah, blah. So what did we say earlier? So firstly we'll do demographics. So we'll do like what job they have. So we have company owner, right? Which is demographics, work, job title, development director, CEO maybe? Depends on how it lists them. This is quite if I was at Facebook, I would change this search because it's actually not very intuitive. Right, I'm going to do it this way. It used to have a list. It doesn't. They've changed it. So we'll just do this is it. Chief. Oh no, where's chief exec? Chief X. Maybe Mark is pissed off that everyone targets him on Facebook. Potentially. But let's go for chief marketing officer because maybe they need some design work, and because we could be there all day. Me trying to do that. Oh, the reach. So, problem. Beep 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 beep. Again, Facebook doesn't make those sounds. I have to do it for them. There's not enough chief marketing officers in the 20 kilometers around this place that I can't pronounce to show ads. So we can't do that. So. Demographics. Ooh, we could do education. So education level. University graduates. Yeah, it's probably a good start. There you go. 9,000 people graduated university. And, okay, so if you can't find the job that you want, so you could do you could search for company, maybe startups might be good. Yeah, there you go. No, interesting. So all the university graduates here also are interested in startups, which seems wrong. Maybe not. So come in here. So this is an iterative process, right? This always takes some time. Business and finance. There we go. They work in business and finance. They need some design doing, and then people interested in design. So you can do design, graphic design. Yeah. Amazing, it went up. Good. The reason it went up is actually because of the following. What you should do here is not what I've just done. Is you need to narrow the audience. So you want to say that it's university graduates and then something else. So you go startups. So actually there's not that many university graduates that are also interested in startups here, less than 1,000. But there might be some university graduates that are interested in graphic design. Let's find out. Yeah, done, not less than 1,000. So now you've got quite a targeted audience, right? You've got university grads between the ages of 30 and 50 that live in the local area, that live in the local area that speak Hungarian, Serbian, or English, and they're interested in graphic design. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. So the next thing that you do in this folder, this is like the most important part when it comes to targeting. There's so much you can do, is you edit the placement. So everyone knows what the face. So this is basically where the advert shows in the world of Facebook.
Can I stop you?
Yep.
You skipped the part about the audiences, the lookalike audiences.
I skipped it on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, is it better to have like a lookalike of the customers?
Yeah.
So I have like I could have a pixel.
Yeah.
Okay, and make a lookalike audience.
I know. Yeah.
Converted something on the e-commerce site.
Yeah. So lookalike audience are the
Facebook's more clever than us.
way clever.
Predicting who is the
Yep.
the target audience. So we shouldn't even bother with all this.
No, because no. You were wrong because this is about setting up your first ever Facebook ad. So like, how do you get your first customers if you haven't drove traffic to the site, right?
But if you already have a site,
But yeah. If you already have a site, this would be a different talk. This would be, you already have a site. Do you want to grow the revenue of your site by using lookalike audiences or retargeting?
in your opinion,
What? No. In my opinion, this is about getting your first customers.
I know, but
Yeah.
the question is, in your opinion, if you're
Oh, in my opinion, yeah, use lookalike audiences, 100%. Like they are proven. I would say that the majority of the ad spend in this account would have been lookalike audiences based off of maybe our first 1,000 customers. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that later on in your journey as marketers, entrepreneurs, whatever you end up being, just to kind of clarify what we're talking about here. Facebook, you're able to install what is called a pixel on your website. That pixel tracks people that went to your website, right? It can track people that purchased on your website. You can take the list of, you create an audience of people that purchased on your website. You can then ask Facebook to create an audience of people that look like the people that purchased on your website. And then you can size that audience depending on I don't think you can do it on local area. I think you can do it on the size of a country. So you could be like, make an audience in Serbia that 10% of the population of Serbia that looks like the people that purchased products on my website, right? Which is great, but first you need to get those first 500,000 people. Yeah. Oh, look, yeah. Like if you Google lookalike audiences, you'll find loads of stuff. It'll be very exciting later when you've done those first 500. So where are we? So we have university grads, graphic design. Oh yeah, placement. So this is where you decide where the advert is going to be placed. Dun, 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 in the news feed, that thing we scroll through for way too many hours a day. Well, actually less hours a day now, but we scroll through Instagram instead, so what are you going to do? Instant articles are things that pop up during videos. No, instant articles are like if you're a publisher. So Facebook can like cache your article so that it then pops up instantly rather than having to load, which is good. Right column is the desktop browser, right-hand side. Videos, if it's a video ad, you would show in suggested videos. Marketplace is an advert that would come up in the Facebook Marketplace. They're actually really self-explanatory, like Facebook stories, blah, blah. This is your Instagram newsfeed. This is your Instagram stories. Some friendly advice for setting up your first ad is I split the advert sets out. So I have an ad for Facebook and an ad for Instagram and an ad for Messenger, actually, because that allows you to create the different creative that's required for the different platforms. You actually have a different ad for stories and a different ad for bloody feed. This is why you have to be organized when making your adverts. Right, instant articles. But today, we'll just show it in the newsfeed, because it'll be easier. Ta-da! Tick all these off. Done. Or you can let Facebook do all this for you by pressing the automatic button. I tend not to do that because I don't think I don't like the way that it uses my creative if I do that. But that's a personal preference. And then at the bottom, you have the last piece, which is how you want to pay, really. Do you want to pay for... Oh, no, sorry. How do you want to optimize? So do you want to optimize for the most people clicking the links? Do you want to pay for the most people actually going to the landing page? That's a new one. That's quite a good new one, actually. So it used to just charge you for the link click, whether they went to the... They used to just optimize for a link click, whether they actually went to the landing page or not. Now it does this. Impressions, that's CPM. And daily reach is it will just show the advert. So impressions will show your advert to a person more than once in a day. Whereas daily reach will show your advert only to one. So it'll only show your advert once to the person, to a singular person. I'll only see Bob's Magic Design advert once, whereas an impression, I might see Bob's Magic Design advert 3 times in one day. But today, we'll keep it on link clicks. And that's it. So that is your advert set up. You can change whether you want to pay for CPM, so you pay for impressions, how many times it's shown, or whether you want to actually charge for link clicks, be charged for each time somebody clicks. They're actually intrinsically linked because basically Facebook only has so much advertising real estate to sell. So if your advert's not being clicked on, Facebook just won't show your advert because somebody else will get the space instead. That's why there's a thing that Facebook has a thing called Relevancy Score, which basically the higher your relevancy to the audience you're showing your ad to. So if I'm showing an ad about care homes for old people to 21-year-old students, Facebook are never going to show my ad. My relevancy score will be 1. Whereas if I show it to old people, Facebook will love it and show my ad more, relevancy score will be higher. If your ad's not showing or you're not getting any clicks, high probability that your relevancy score is low. So that's that. And then last, but by no means least, we get to create the advert. Ta-da! So click the tab again. So as we said, we've set up the campaign, right? Top folder. We then set up the advert sets, which is the targeting. And now we're going to actually create the advert, the creative part of the ad. Because I don't have a page for Bob, we're going to use the page for Table Yeti. So what we can do, so what you do is if it's Instagram, you need to add your Instagram account here. This is where you select your page. So you see there's just Table Yeti because it's in the Table Yeti account. So what type of ad do we want to show? We want to show a image advert. Right. So you just scroll down, select ad with image or video, scroll, and select the image. What are we going to find? Let's use an image of me. How fun. We'll say that my name is Bob. Square images are not available. What? Screw you. Look how happy I am. This is my I was 30 that day. This is a happy birthday badge. Very happy. Very happy. Right, so select the link type for your ad. That's new. Nope, not relevant. Right, so here you start writing. So this comes up above the ad. So this is the text up here. Yep. Right, so all you want to write is, this is Bob. Bob. I have the most magical design in the world. I can make unicorns come out of the stars like you wouldn't even believe. And then you want to add some emojis, like the unicorn emoji, obviously. Let's add some more emojis. Dun, ta-da. I mean, I would click on that. I don't know about you guys. It's a good ad, right? So then the URL for the website, like Bob's Magic Design.rs. Boom. That's right? RS. display link. So this is the URL. So this is the actual link that will be shown to people. So if you wanted to call like Bob loves unicorns.com, I don't know, maybe you think it's better than your. Yeah, there you go. So Bob's loves unicorns up here, but it also shows you that, so you can't get confused. Not really sure why it would do both, but we'll see. And so this is the headline. Anybody feeling creative? Anyone? Creative? Slightly creative today? Somebody throw me a headline. What should we do? Headline for Bob's magical design workshop place. Headline. Something attention grabbing. Yeah, boom. Get your unicorn design today. I know you can't do that. It's naughty. And then comes with a free cookie. Whoop. Free cookie. There we go. Now you're going to get so many more customers. Then you have some more text that you can write. You know, like best free cookie only available today with designs of unicorns. Boom. Can't spell today. Grammarly will help me though. There we go. Best. Oh, what's Grammarly? Doesn't like the best. My grammar isn't right. Oh, and then also today's not up. What the? Screw you, Grammarly. Well, this is not such a good advert for Facebook. Terrible advert for Grammarly. Maybe it did work. No, it didn't. So that's that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We'll ignore that. So this is the call to action button. So this is here. You see where it says learn more. Right. So you can change that to loads of things. Like you probably want to change it to get offer because you're offering a free cookie, or like apply now for your free cookie, or like I don't know, sign up for your free cookie. You see, there's loads of things. And if you've got like, oh, these are new, yay, bank transfer available. Wow, what's happened here? Bank transfer available. That is a new one. Wow, I don't know why they would think that that was a great advertising message to have in this. Can I edit that now? Oh, yeah, you can. That very exciting new Facebook things you can do. Pay on arrival. There we go. You can get. You don't have to prepay for your cookie and your design. Turn up. Done. And there you go. I would press this publish button down here, and that advert would go live on Facebook in about 10 minutes. I'm not going to press the publish button because I was in Bosnia and I did a similar talk and I pressed the publish button and then I forgot about it. And it ran up £118,000 worth of ad spend. No. Basically, it was like an advert. It was to do with like learning Bosnian if you're a foreigner. Anyway, some people in Bosnia didn't like my advert, and they started abusing my advert. And I didn't realize till the next day, but I got some considerable abuse because I wanted to teach people Bosnian. English people Bosnian, which is slightly odd. They were like, never come to Bosnia. I was like, okay, cool, sweet. It was an interesting thing. So that would be it. So you can preview what it will look like. You know, that's what it's going to look like in the news feed. You can press this button here. I can't send it to my mobile for some reason. But that'd be it. That's it. Bob has created a design for Bob's Magic Design Company. Before you know it, you'll be multi-millionaire. Everybody's going to want to buy unicorns and cookies you have a queue around the house, right? So does everybody in this room think that they could do what I've just done? Is there anybody that thinks they couldn't do that? No, right? I'm sure everybody you don't even need £5. What am I on about? Facebook will give you £20 equivalents worth of ad credit. So this weekend, or tomorrow, or if you don't want to be successful next week, go and try it out, right? Spend €5. See what you can do. Create a web page on Wix. Use their free trial. Use Squarespace. Like, do something to see if your idea is a good idea. And that's how you create Facebook ads. How much time do I have?
How much time do you need?
20 more minutes. Yeah, wicked. Right. So, where's preview gone? Did I close it? Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Right. So I was going to go back to the presentation, but really the next slide, all it says is lesson 2, Google Ads. So we'll just do that. Ta-da! Google Ads. Google Ads is very similar to Facebook ads. This is how they're set up. Talk amongst yourselves, it's fine. So somebody likes Facebook more. See you later. Hope you learned something good. Make sure you set those ads up. Yeah. What do I use? I use everything. Well, that's the wrong thing to say. I use whichever is getting me the best results. I've done split. Yes, we do split. So back in early bird days, that split testing tool wasn't available. So what we used to do is we would have an advert set. Let's say we wanted to drive traffic to converting traffic to the website, right? People purchase a subscription. What we would do is we would basically create 2 adverts and then 2 advert sets targeting different people, different ages, different interests, blah, blah, blah. And we would see which one performed best. And you can't, and we would see which placements performed best, and whichever was getting us the cheapest cost CPA, so cost per acquisition, or CAC, you might see it as well. Cost CPA is cost per acquisition, CAC is cost acquisition, customer acquisition cost. It's the same things. You need to test them all. Literally, this is a game of testing. So whichever one is getting you the best results, do that. The only way you'll find out what is getting you the best results is to make the ads and run them. There is no, you might find that your customers really love Instagram story ads, but Luca might find that his customers really love newsfeed ads, or like right column ads, or like loads of stuff. Some of the ads are also cheaper. So right column is way cheaper than newsfeed because it gets less reach. So there's a whole world of testing. Online advertising is all about testing. Test, measure, improve. Test, measure, improve. Every day. Yes, Luca?
How long does an experiment last? If you run a campaign, when do you say 5 days, 7 days, 2 weeks?
Early bird, we were doing probably 2 days because we were getting huge reach. So it depends on you. I guess the answer is it budget dependent. When you are running a company that has finite runway, you want to get this shit done quickly. Whereas, if it's something that, you've got time to test and you don't have a huge budget, then let an ad run for 5 days. I think Facebook says that to get the right data, it needs like 24 hours, 2 days. But we actually found that we could basically see whether an ad was performing in like an hour sometimes. One ad compared to another. Because at the end of the day, they show up in the news feed. Like if something resonates with the audience, you'll find that the people are clicking it. Like really, it will happen straight away. But the more budget you have, the more time you have, the longer your testing periods need to be. If you're in a rush, you can test quickly. Again, all of this stuff is actually quite company dependent. So this is actually a reason why you don't want to raise investment money or take on too many costs in your businesses too early, because this experimentation phase Bye. This experimentation phase for your business can take a long time. And working out your sales model is not only the most important part of building the business, it's also the most difficult and the most prone to externalities, so external influences. If something is prone to external influences, that means that these things are out of your control. So, you know, like, and if things are out little bit more out of your control, then they'll blow your budgets out of the water, et cetera, et cetera. So you really, you want to get this stuff tested before you even think about going out and raising any money. Like, these are kind of like really early, like, which marketing channels work for me? You know, if you're speaking to an investor, you'd be like, well, I know that Facebook works in the news feed. It costs me €1 a customer. And so far we've managed to sign up 3,000 customers, and we make €10 off of each customer. An investor's going to be like, right, this guy knows how this game works. If you go to an investor and like, I have this idea for like snack boxes on the internet, then they give you a pile of cash anyway. No, if they have, you know, I've got this idea for, I don't know, selling great cameras, but I've actually not sold any, and I've not tested any ads, and I don't know how I'm going to sell them, you're not going to get anywhere. The more data, the more testing you can do early, the bigger, the better the probability of success of your company will be. Full stop. But less of my lecture and more of how to set up Google Ads. So, very similar structure to Facebook. So you actually, but they're called different things. So you have campaigns, which is the top folder, ad groups, which is the targeting, and then ad extensions. Ads and extensions is where you make the ads. It's much quicker to do it on Google. So what you do is this button up here is how you create a campaign, new campaign. We want to do some sales. So again, right? So sales, it gives you an explanation of what they do. Leads, website traffic, get the right people to your website. Get people to have a look around using video, right? In like YouTube. Google owns YouTube, if you didn't know. App promotion, get people to go to the App Store and install the product. Brand awareness and reach, right? You can kind of see how the two platforms are like similar in the way that they're trying to promote. The big difference is that Facebook is interruptive marketing. So you are on Facebook scrolling through, or Instagram, or in Messenger, and you see an advert, and that's interrupted what you're doing. So like, maybe it's interesting, so you click it and maybe buy something, right? But it's interruptive. You weren't sitting on Facebook hoping that an advert was going to show up so you could go and spend some money. Google is based on keywords. So it's people wanting to find something. I need to hire a table for an event. Type it into Google. Table hire in London. You come up first. So your advert is shown. And that's the two key differences between the two. But how both platforms manage this is actually very similar. So today we'll do Bob's magic again, magical design, website traffic. This is where you choose the display type. So search, display ads, so like banner ads, shopping, so this would be Google Shopping. You've seen like buy fancy shoes or whatever. And video, YouTube. Search. Bob's magical design.com. That probably is a website. Should we have a look? Nope. Who wants to buy it? It's a great domain name. Right, so this is your name, your folder, right? Everyone kind of following along, name the folder. So website, traffic. Let's remember. So the big difference between Facebook and Google is you do your targeting of location at campaign level. You don't do it at the ad set level or the ad group level, as which Facebook calls it. So you can do search network. Search network is google.com, .co.uk.rs, or display network, which is like Google AdSense, which is on other websites. So Google's advertising on other websites. For today, we'll just do display network. Location again, enter another location, SUB, O, T, like that. Ooh, is it the province? Is that right? Yeah. So we can target it, done, very simple. So you might also see that Google gives you the reach for that region. That's a bit different to Facebook again, because like this is keyword targeting, whereas Facebook is just going to show your ad to the people that it thinks are going to take an action of which you desire. Google is like, yeah, there's 1.4 million people in the region, but you need to find out how many of those 1.4 million of people are searching for design in the region. Again, so you've got language here, so English, Serbian, done. Set your budget, £10 a day, whatever. Clicks. So what are you paying for here? Basically, clicks on Google is all you pay for. And then you can actually set a budget of how much you're willing to spend on a click, so £1, for example. Here you can set a bid strategy. So do you want to maximize clicks? Do you want to maximize number of people that buy your products? Do you want to target like whether you're first on the page, bottom of the page, blah, blah, blah. Loads of stuff, right? They all come with little helpy things here so you can find out what they mean. And then if you've got like, again, like in the way we were speaking about lookalike audiences, which is a bit more advanced, which is like tracking people that have already been to your website and then creating audiences that look like them, you can do similar stuff with Google. It's called different things, but do the same. Site link extensions are actually quite important. So like, these can be like things that go at the bottom of, so you see the ad, it'll be like the ad text, then underneath will be more links. You've seen those on Google, I'm sure. We won't do those today. You can see that you just add them. Google tends to pull a lot of information from your website so that it kind of has an idea of like stuff that you should be advertising for. So save and continue. Right, so this is now where you write your keywords. So, design, freelancer. Yeah. Or you can get ideas over here. So do design, freelancer. You can see how many people search that in a month. Oh no, it's just done freelancer. It's not done design. Web design freelance. So within the region that you targeted, there is between 10 and 100 searches a month for web design freelance work. That exact phrase is searched between 10 and 100 times a month. So you can see, like, do that, add that one, we'll add that one, independent, find logo designer, blah, 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 right? These are the search terms. This is what people type into Google. When people search, when they press enter, your advert is going to show up in Google. Could be top of Google. Right, so that's it. That's the ad groups are much simpler in Google because you do the targeting bit at the campaign level, and then you just do the keywords at ad group level. And then, hello. It's dependent on how you're targeting people. It's dependent on the type of search. So, the type of keyword search that you're doing. So you have 3 different types. You have exact match, you have broad match, and you have phrase match. Phrase match is basically, it's a little more complicated than this, but it doesn't matter what order the words are in. Exact match is exactly that phrase. Broad match is like it'll take like a couple of words in the sentence that it thinks are relevant, and then like if you typed in like if you just had like broad match and it was red shoes, you would show up for I want to buy red shoes, and also you might show up for what red shoes were used in the movie Saving Private Ryan, right? You don't want to be in that search, right? Because that's irrelevant. It's not good. Like if something then clicks on your bloody link, you've been charged, and I can guarantee you they probably, unless you're selling those red shoes that were used in Saving Private Ryan, which I'm sure you're probably not, kind of see my point, right? You want to make sure that you can Google this. There's actually I can't go into it too deeply. There's actually a lot of stuff around broad match, exact match, phrase match, and there's like this thing called broad match modifier, phrase match. It's endless. So like Google it, find out exactly what these things mean, because you could end up spending money that is wasted. So this is it. So this is that. So this is the last of the last. This is where you make your advert. So firstly, the URL, Bob's Magical Unicorn Design Shop in Serbia.com. RS, yeah, sorry. And then you have your headlines, right? So get unicorn design today in Serbia. This is where you can write like, Google might break here because it's so long. That'd be fun. I don't know, design. There you go. See how this is like building the advert here? And then this is your description. So like, we have the best design work ever, especially for unicorn lovers. And that is the ad. Like making the ads in Google is way, way simpler than making them in Facebook, because especially for search ads, like they don't have images. It's all about text. Again, though, what I think is very important to note is that very slight differences and variances in the advert text will create very different results. So you want to make sure that you test and measure these adverts, because you might find that using the word unicorn puts people off, when really you should use the word horse with a horn, for example. So yeah, these are very important. You need to test and measure this stuff. You'll find out exactly what it means. So you've done that. You can create another ad if you want. So if you want to do some testing, you can create another one. Cancel that though, not doing that. And save and continue. It will ask you to confirm everything that you've set up. And you would press continue, and it would make the campaign. And within the next 5-10 minutes, you'll be shown in Google. You could be top of the first page if you selected, bid there, and off to the races you go. Maybe you'll get some unicorn design work sales for your magical business. So yeah, that's it. That's how you set up Facebook ads. That's how you set up Google ads. Very good to note that this is genuinely like just the tip of the iceberg, like the very, very tip. There is an unbelievable amount of stuff to learn around this, and Google is definitely your friend. Things you should search for: AdWords, how to like best AdWords strategies, how to do AdWords testing. There's a guy called John Lumina, who's probably the best Facebook guy that there is. He has a great blog. Read his blog. There's loads of stuff that you can learn just by reading and doing. So read stuff, practice it yourself. Read stuff, practice it yourself. That's how you'll learn how to do these things. And that's it.